She's Janelle Monáe. So, on stage, you said this is an experience rooted in love. You had fun.
Absolutely.
Why'd this one feel special?
Oh my goodness. First of all, the crowd. Can we talk about how amazing it was? Like they were love personified. You know, we showed up ready to give. They showed up ready to give. And I feel like it was just a magical connection.
Is it interesting to you that sometimes crowds are better than others, even though they're groups of people reacting to largely the same music? Even if it's a ticketed show and they're your fans, there are nights where fans are better than other nights.
That is very true in terms of just their energy. Some people I realize are taking it in, like what you want them to do externally, they're doing internally. And some people are just moved that they sometimes just are unable to express themselves like that. So you just have to come ready to give. And what we like to say before, we pray all the time before each show, and we're like, we just pray that people's hearts are moved and touched and that we give without expectation. So I don't come expecting the crowd to do anything, actually. So whenever anybody does something, I'm like, yes, this is amazing.
Is it weird that every festival you play, it's described as a breakthrough? It always feels like a breakthrough performance, and yet you've been here.
Yes.
And it does keep getting bigger. That is the natural progression of things. But at some point, I guess they need to recognize, right? I mean, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I know what you're trying to say. I think it's important that I evolve as an artist, and I do feel like this is like just the beginning. You know, I haven't even touched the surface of my potential. I think everyone has their own personal goals of where they want to be, and I'm always constantly pushing myself and trying to keep myself surrounded around people who motivate me to be better. And I'm not interested in doing anything I've done in the past. It's all about moving forward. Yeah.
We've been lucky enough across these 3 days to not be getting constant news updates because the cell phone service is bad, and to not be checking TV the way we normally do. This has been a rough couple of days for a lot of folks, and there is some joy to be brought from music and from not shutting up and singing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's sort of a double-edged thing in that this is a place to speak out,
right? But
it's also a place to escape all that.
Absolutely.
Do you see it that way?
Yeah. I want to say with this particular project, Dirty Computer, I wrote it during the time where I was watching a lot of news and I was seeing the way this country was headed. And those in the position of power, our current president, I'll just be very clear, I don't support them. And I dealt with a lot of anger around their divisive tactics and just the abuse of power that's happening. But I just made a decision with this project and just with my life to celebrate those who need it most, those who are pushed to the margins of society because of who they love, those in the LGBTQIA community, poor folks, women, black folks, minorities, immigrants, disabled people. I can go on and on and on. This country is not working for us. I consider myself to be in a lot of those groups. And it's about creating community, a community where when they come here to these shows, that they feel loved, they feel seen, they feel heard, and they feel like there's somebody with the platform that will speak up and that will use their voice and not allow the abusers of power to continue their agenda. And I think the most important thing we can do is to just uplift each other during these times and take our asses to the polls and vote. This Tuesday is the last day to register. November 6th is the day to vote for the local elections. You have to understand local elections are so important because somebody voted in those people who voted to confirm Brett Kavanaugh, period. People showed up. And when we don't show up, we ain't got no power.
And this is what you wind up with.
And this is what we wind up with. So I'm just encouraging people to take your anger to the polls and continue to uplift each other and to be there for each other. Ally up with each other and to figure out how we can see ourselves and one another and the interconnectedness that we have despite what the media says.
You've got an ally in David Byrne. He's
I
been
love him.
closing his sets with a song of yours, a protest song, but also a song of joy.
Absolutely. He's honoring those who have been murdered through police brutality, the abuse of power in the police force. Obviously, we have amazing police officers who care about us, but the abuse of power is in every company. It's there. And it happens in our police force. And black and brown kids and people are most susceptible to that particular abuse of power. And lives were taken. And David Byrne is performing a song we wrote called Hell You Talking About, which is honoring the victims like Trayvon Martin, Jordan Bell. There's so many of them, but you listen to those names, he's calling them out, and he's just making people not forget about what happened. Because as you mentioned, the news is on constantly and there's something new going on, but we can't forget about all of the people who have died, and nobody has been held accountable for that. You know, you just have families who are mourning, and none of the police officers have been held accountable. So shout out to David Byrne for being a great ally, and he's always spoken, you know, he's always used his voice to speak truth to power.
And while you're here, you're taping Austin City Limits, the television
Yes.
show. That's a bucket list thing too,
I'm
right?
so excited, man. It's gonna be amazing. I feel it in my spirit. This is a music town. You know, I'm a musician, I'm an artist, and I love the power of music. I know that we've been talking about a lot of politics, but really, I would never want to be a politician. Shout out to all of them who are running. For me, music has the ability to bring people together no matter what their political beliefs are. We're coming together as a purple state, red and blue combined, every other color, and we're here in the name of love and a great 808.
Janelle Monáe, part of the Austin City Limits Music Festival, both weekends, and taping Austin City Limits, the television show, and here on Austin City Limits Radio from backstage at ACL. We'll have more both weekends from back here in our compound at the Austin City Limits Music Festival.
Thank you.